If you're into self-improvement, then you've noticed just about every self-improvement YouTuber will tell you to read. But come to think of it, reading has never been cool. Only fucking nerds read. That's why I'm gonna tell you that reading is gay. No, I'm kidding. But reading is universally recommended by all of the self-help gurus. Now, is it because they're out here reading and getting all the benefits? No. It's because they're looking for the easiest video you could possibly make. So why do you think I'm here today? Just kidding. But reading, if you know Grand Kielbasa, you know my habit tracker is up there. You'll see a fresh new one up there. It's because I just started a new one today. I'll make a video about that soon, but let's look at the old habit sheet that it replaced. Now, of all these squares, and like there's hundreds of squares, but there's like only a couple rectangles. So out of these 8 rectangles, there's one rectangle that's colored in less than all the other rectangles. It's not even weed. Like, you'd think the least successful habit would be like doing less drugs. Because drugs are hard, right? No, it's reading. Reading's not hard. You just open the book and you look at the words and then you kind of zone out and then you just flip the pages and then, hey, you feel successful. You read a book. No, that's not reading. This video is about that bullshit. You're not reading. You're fucking looking at words and fucking not gaining anything. You're wasting your time. That's what you're doing. And look, I don't think that all of your time has to be dedicated to the grind set, improving every moment you're alive. I think it's okay to, have fun, relax, but like, if you're gonna read for fun, then read some fucking, I don't know, some erotica or some hentai. No, magma. Read some of that. Go read some comic books or Lord of the Rings or something. Because there you don't really have to pay attention. You can zone out every once in a while. Oh, look, I zoned out. And it was just a story about something I didn't need to know. But with self-improvement shit, which is the exact shit we're all talking about. When we say read, we're not saying go read Lord of the Rings. We're saying go read this fucking book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Go read Atomic Habits. Go read whatever. But that's the first piece of advice. That's actually good advice. But we're not all on the same page about reading. Like, it's not a contest. You're not trying to read as many books as you can. If you're someone and you tell me that you read a book a week, or you read 100 books last year, I think you're a dumbass. I don't think you learned a thing. Like, seriously. And this could be just because I'm inadequate with my reading habit, but I think it's because I'm doing something where I'm actually gaining the benefits of it. And for that to work, it's a lot harder. If we could just look at paper and look at words and then flip through it and like absorb that information, that'd be crazy. That'd be Skyrim. Oh, we opened a book and we leveled up our magic. No, that's not how it works, bruh. So there are some mistakes people make when they read. The first being they don't take notes. I take detailed ass notes when I read. Why is that? Is it because I'm gonna go back and study those notes? Maybe, but that's not really that's not the plan. The reason I write down the notes is because in order to write it down, I'm obviously not gonna write down every single word. If you're doing that, you're being stupid. I'm summarizing it and like gaining, in order to summarize, I can't just like remove words. I have to like think about it and like, how can I paraphrase this? How would I say this in my own words? And I write down things that either I'll think of or like things that stuck out to me, or I'll relate it to something in my life. And another huge part of that is it forces you to think. Now you can't just take notes and be a drone. You have to like think about it. Why am I taking these notes? It's because I want to learn something from this. So the next thing is you're binging. You gotta stop binging. Like, bro, if you're gonna binge a book, go read Lord of the Rings. When we learn information, it's a process. And a lot of that process happens when we're not even thinking about it. When we're sleeping. So, if you read a fucking 10 chapters a day, or even more than one chapter, or if you're reading an entire book in a week, that's way too much information for your brain to update every night. You're saying, update all of this batch. I'm throwing all of this shit at you. It's like 10 different concepts with like 100 subpoints each. Bruh, that's ridiculous. You can't do that. I can't do that. Nobody can do that. If you're gonna binge a book, I think that's dumb. Like, if I'm gonna binge something, I'm gonna binge something that's fun. Like, let's be honest here, people. Reading isn't fun. And I think we all know that. But one thing some of us don't get is, we think the point of reading is to make us feel good about ourselves. No, it's to learn. And maybe nobody thinks that, but I don't know. If you're gonna binge shit, there's so much shit you can binge. That's not books. And if you're going to binge a book, I swear to God, you better not binge fucking self-improvement. Unless that's all you binge. And I mean like one single book. If you binge a book, okay, now you start the binge back at the start. And maybe that'll work, I don't know. It's better than just moving on to the next book, though. So, if you're gonna read, and last mistake people make is, they think the value is from like it's some fucking thing with the vision and the words on the paper. No, it's all about introspection. It's all about critical thinking. Like, if you just read it and you just put it down afterwards and like, you think that was a good book, and you don't think like actionable thoughts or like any thoughts that'll lead you anywhere, like, if you don't generate any thoughts relating to your own life, you're either reading the wrong book, like put down 50 Shades of Grey, put down Winnie the Pooh, or you're not engaging with the content. And this is the hard part. People get addicted to looking at the words, but they don't get addicted to like introspecting. So that's why on my new habit sheet, I put reading up there. And it's because I'm serious about it this time. So, some actionable tips. You gotta slow down the reading, brother. Don't read one book a week, read one book a month. Read one book every 2 months, 3 months. Don't read multiple chapters a day. Read one chapter a day, or read like sections in a chapter a day. Like, you wanna give your brain a reasonable amount of information. If you finish your reading session and you can't like think about every like overarching idea you just came across, that's a sign you're not absorbing it all. And yeah, the goal is not vanity. You shouldn't be like telling people, I read this many books, so, oh, I read that book. Do you mean you skimmed that book, or did you actually like go through and like it should be a process reading a book. It shouldn't just be you read it and then you're done with it. You should take notes, and you should go back to that book and think and just iterate on it. This is the exact kind of shit that makes people think, well, self-improvement is useless. I read all the books. I read hundreds of books. I did all the work. But no, idiot, you just skimmed books. You just wanted to say you read these books. Like, imagine if we read textbooks like we read books. You would learn nothing. Like, there's a reason there's fucking practice problems at the end of every chapter. That forces you to learn with it. So, like, most books aren't gonna have an action plan. Actually, a lot of self-improvement books do. So, like, engage with that action plan, but more so, don't, like, rely on that and make it the only thing. Like, oh, there's no action plan. I guess I'll just stick my thumb up my ass. No, don't do that. Make your own action plan, dude. I have not read that many books. Partially because of this, because, you know, you can see I haven't really established my reading habit. But also because I take my time with each book. Atomic Habits, the last book I read, I was on that shit for so long. For months, I would go back and go back and go back and apply it and think about it. Atomic Habits is a perfect example. If you read Atomic Habits and your life isn't completely fucking different afterwards, you read it wrong. You gotta go back. Unless you're already perfect with your habits, but if that's the case, why are you reading Atomic Habits? Read something else. Go work on your weaknesses, not something you're already perfect at. All right, that's my rant. All these gurus talking about read this, read that, but they're not even reading themselves. So go read like a fucking nerd. The nerds are doing this shit right. Go be like them. So thank you for watching. I know it was a little heated, but man, I get mad when I see fucking people faking nerd valor. I like nerds, but stop pretending to be a nerd, bro. You suck ass at it. Alright, see ya. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate you. Now go implement these. If you're already doing this, fine, keep doing what you're doing. But now, if you're not doing that shit, now, next time you pick up a book, you want to be very deliberate about the book you choose, but you also have to you want to put in the fucking work. Take your time, take it slow, and last little quick tip. If you stay to the end, you deserve this little quick tip. Obviously, figure it out yourself, but like, a system that I found works great for me is, I read one like section of text. It depends on the book, but like the chapters are really big in the current book I'm reading. So I'll read one like section, which is maybe a page or a few pages, and I'll take notes on that. So like, make sure you can also like break it down into reasonable chunks. Not just your reading sessions, but also like your note taking. All right, I know this was way too long for one fucking topic, but thank you for watching. I appreciate you.